Hey everyone, a little bit of a disclaimer before the video starts. Near the end of the video, you'll notice there's sort of a big change in lighting. That's because I had to reshoot the last part of the video because I didn't feel like it went well with it. So I changed it, and it was filmed at a different time and day than the original film was shot. So yeah, and I know some of you will probably hate me for some of the things I say about Harry Potter film in this review, this video essay. But when I watched the film, I was thinking through the mind of someone who maybe this film would be the first time they were ever exposed to Harry Potter before they ever read the books. So that's the viewpoint I was judging it from. But this is America, I can have my own opinion. So yeah, enjoy the video.
Oh, hi there. You scared the absolute crap out of me. Well, everyone watching out there on YouTube, I have a special treat for you today. Today will be my very first video essay. And today, I'll be talking about a very special subject near and dear to many people. Harry Potter. This popular book series has reached across multiple generations and touched hearts and imaginations from ages 6 to 60. A truly beloved series by many. And maybe by me as well. This was my first time reading a Harry Potter book or watching a Harry Potter movie, and I gotta say, I loved it. The book was very well written and created an incredible magical world filled with relatable characters that you just can't help but love, and some you can't help but hate. But today, we won't be talking about the books. Today we'll be talking about the film adaptation of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and why it's a bad adaptation.
You serious?
Now before we discuss bad adaptations, first we must ask ourselves, what makes a good adaptation? Well, a good adaptation keeps the essence of the original story, while sometimes improving upon it, such as how Peter Jackson's King Kong gives us more relatable and fleshed out characters, and even a more relatable beast. Or how Francis Ford Coppola's Godfather takes a pulp book and turns it into a cinematic masterpiece about family. However, I also believe that a good adaptation must not be just faithful to the larger parts of the story, but to some of the smaller details as well. As an example, I'll talk about one of my absolute favorite books of all time, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. I look forward to reading this book every year, every Christmas. Sometimes, I just don't look forward to the film adaptations though. Some of them have been fine and well, such as George C. Scott as Ebenezer Scrooge, who gives such an excellent performance as the iconic miser. Or The Christmas Carol with Patrick Stewart, which is the most faithful film adaptation of the book that I was able to find. However, there is a problem that almost each film adaptation of The Christmas Carol suffers from, which is that they oftentimes omit some of the smaller details of the story. Details such as how wide Scrooge's staircase was, the fact that there were 3 people selling Scrooge's possessions, and the couple that were happy with Scrooge's death. These seem like small, insignificant details, but they're actually great visual representations that help emphasize parts of the story. The staircase's enormously wide size is a testament as to how much wealth that Scrooge and Marley have amassed over the years. And it's also a great contrast to how cold and dark the rest of the house is, showing that they've amassed much wealth, but they just don't even use it. The fact that there were 3 people selling Scrooge's possessions instead of 1 is a testament as to just how much the world hated Scrooge's selfish actions and how they punished him for it. And the couple, while in some adaptations but not most, shows just how people could only love Scrooge in death. Likewise, the film adaptation for Prisoner of Azkaban suffers from omitting some of the smaller details that help the audience grasp a fuller understanding of the world, story, and characters. When Marge visits, Harry asks Vernon to sign the Hogsmeade form, but Harry simply says, "Uncle Vernon, I need you to sign this form." Vernon says, "What is it?" And Harry says, "Oh, nothing, just school stuff." Because I read the story beforehand, I understand how important the Hogsmeade form is to him. Unless you read the story before, you would just simply assume that it's just school stuff and it's just a small thing. But no, Hogsmeade, as it's made clear in the book, is just incredibly important to Harry that he gets there. And if you don't include smaller details like that early on, it's just not going to register to the audience if it's their first time seeing Harry Potter and haven't read the book before, just how important it is to Harry. It's also important to remember that in the book, when Harry runs away after blowing up Aunt Marge, he's scared, he's afraid, he's so deathly afraid of being expelled from Hogwarts and of being put in Azkaban. But in the movie, when you see him running away from Marge, you don't get that feeling. You just get the feeling that it's just some angsty teen drama. Not something that the character himself is actually deathly afraid of. Not that there's a sense of urgency to it. The scene with the Grimm is without a doubt, to the characters, one of the most terrifying parts of the book. Because it's very real to them that the possibility of Harry having a death omen on him. But in the movie, it's just a really quick 30-second scene. I think it's really important to understand that if a character has a death omen on them, that is something that you need to build up to slowly and surely, not just rush on by. One of the things that bothered me the most was the fact that they showed Hermione's Time Turner necklace, but didn't add the detail early on about her having too many classes. That's a very important detail to remember, because if you don't have that, it just feels like something that springed on you last second without any reason. In the book, you're given more reason. You're given it's sort of a better twist in the book when you realize it, knowing that she had too many classes. This was the first time that my parents had seen a Harry Potter film. They weren't exactly happy about it, because anytime they hear the name Harry Potter, they just react like this.
Out of this house! Out of this house! Spirits be gone from this house!
Before I gave them the details of the book, I asked them, what'd you think of the movie? And they felt that it was very rushed and felt sort of incomplete. It just feels like they expected you to read the books before watching this film. And when you're making a film adaptation, that should not be your mindset towards it. I never read the Jaws novel or short story or whatever it was before watching Jaws, but I still loved it and it's a great film. I never read the Rear Window short story before watching Rear Window, and still I can agree it's a great film without even reading the original story. However, despite all the faults that I've listed, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is actually a good and faithful adaptation of the story. Yes, there are some smaller details that are missing that I really wish were still there, but overall, the film still keeps to the themes of fear, revenge, and change that are so prominent in the story, therefore making it a faithful adaptation. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always,
Live long and prosper.
May the Force be with you.